Hey everybody, Dr. Horst here. I wanted to go over something with you guys today that I've been really all about this past year. I wanted to give you guys kind of a review as far as the ice pod here. So it's almost been a total year. I want to say it'll be a year and maybe a couple weeks. I use this thing very often, and for the most part I want to share some of the pros and some of the pretty big cons. So pros, it's not all that expensive. The chiller that I got, it's fantastic. It gets the job done. It keeps the water for the most part pretty clean as well. It has the nice filter, and as long as you add the necessary chemicals. And as far as chemicals, all I do is I just do a couple capfuls of hydrogen peroxide. Every Friday I do that, and then you're supposed to change the filter every month. And so for myself, I basically, if I'm on top of it, if it looks dirty, change it, clean it, no big deal. You could always also save some money by just kind of opening it up and hosing it off. But for the most part, it gets down to where it needs to get to, and that's great. Now for some of the cons. So I got the insulation package. As you can see, it's in my backyard. And this is actually my second ice pod that they have sent me. So the insulation package, while it's fantastic, it does a great job of actually keeping it, for the most part, from getting too hot or too cold. There's a big problem here when this part, which is supposed to be filled with air, deflates. So this, as I mentioned, this is my second one. After the first one, I started to get a bubble in this actual same exact spot right here where we have a hole in this one. And it happened within a couple days of actually inflating it. And then, I contacted iSpot. I said, hey, what's going on? And they said, hey, no problem. We'll send you another one. So that was great. You know what? It still was working. It looked kind of funny. And so I used it for about 9 months or so. And then eventually it popped right here. And then I used the one that they sent me. I filled it up, and literally within maybe a half hour, the same bubble popped up. And this is, you can overinflate this. I did not do that at all, the first time or the second time. And then 10 minutes after I saw the bubble, it popped. So this is my sad cold plunge now. Another thing to think about is this is under a patio cover. However, sometimes if the sunlight hits it, it could actually cause this part to kind of melt. And I think that's maybe what happened here, but also it didn't help that because we don't have the support of this ring here, that every time I get in and get out of it, it actually gets water all in here. And so I would say that likely breaks it down faster too. So, for the most part, this is still good. And as I mentioned, it stays nice and clean as long as you're doing what you need to do. And, overall, pretty happy with it, except for this major flaw. So because of that, I'm actually going to connect the chiller to another company, and I'm going to see if that works, and I'll get back to you guys on that one. But, for the most part, I'm happy with the overall success and how it makes me feel when it comes to using the ice pod. But this is a really major flaw. It would be fine if they charged a little bit extra and we were able to keep this ring here. Even if they sent like a smaller pool noodle that you could actually slide in there to help maintain that. That would be very helpful. As I mentioned, I contacted iSpot after the first time it popped. I contacted them the second time. I'm not endorsed. I don't work for this company. I'm just a guy that likes to get in there and feel good. And they didn't pay attention to me after the second time. They were just kind of like, oh, another person that is complaining about this. And obviously they know about this problem. So just something to think about when you are going and you're trying to do some research on getting cold plunge. The benefits that I experienced from it are fantastic. I sleep better. My joints, my body feels better. And, honestly, I felt like I was losing body fat when I was doing it. I was thinking more clearly, and it's something that I recommend everybody to do. A lot of the studies suggest 3 to 6 minutes, 59 degrees or below. I was probably going a little bit higher than that. My favorite is like 38 to 40 degrees, about 6.5 minutes. But I'm a little crazy, so try that. But again, this is about the ice pod. Overall, real good, but they need to fix this, and I will get back to you guys and let you know how I feel about this other company when I get to that. Okay, take care, guys.